How's it going, Mush fam? So yesterday we had an exciting day of harvesting. We harvested about 21 fresh pounds of cordyceps, which was amazing. We had some help. It was an exciting day. Today we have a team and we are prepping and sterilizing over 5,000 cordyceps jars. We got this big autoclave back here. This is a 33-foot long autoclave. We're at Mycoterra Farm in South Deerfield, Massachusetts, which is 7 minutes up the road from our farm. And so, yeah, stay tuned and see our process and how we load this thing up. Here we got the racks that load into the autoclave. And we just set up metal ramps and push the carts into the autoclave. Back here on the other side, it's a double door. And on the other side of this wall, we have the sterile lab. First part of our operation, we have all these jars filled with white rice, and we've put them in these tinfoil containers for easy transport. And the first stage at this point is filling them with our special sauce. We got this nutrient broth over here with a lot of different vitamins and minerals and things for the cordyceps to eat. And we use these continuous liquid filling machines to fill up the jars. If you're a small scale grower, you can just, use a measuring cup and do it by hand. But at this scale, it's really easy to use these liquid filling machines. Stage, once we fill them with liquid, we bring them over here and we put the lids on. So the lids have a hole in them with polyfill stuff through it for gas exchange. Mushrooms are just like us. They breathe in oxygen and let out CO2. So in these jars, this rice will solidify in a cake once it's sterilized, and then we can inoculate it in the lab tomorrow. So here we're putting them on these carts, and these carts will push into this autoclave over here. This is the final part of the prepping and sterilization, moving these carts of jars into the 33-foot long autoclave to be sterilized for 2 hours and 45 minutes at 17 psi. We got about 680 jars per cart and about 8 carts. So it's Sunday, and this is the next day, the next stage of our cordyceps production. This is the other side of the autoclave. This is the sterile part of the lab. We have an awesome team today helping us out. We're wearing full Tyvek suits, gloves, face masks when we're in front of the hood. This room has a HEPA filter blown into it, so it's totally clean. These were unloaded this morning, and I didn't get any video, but people cranked it out, loaded the carts out here of the sterile jars, and we moved into this lab area, which is also an incubation. It's 1,000 square feet, tons of mycelial bags everywhere. And let's go take a look at the lab setup. Some of the jars that were unloaded from the autoclave. And this is our lab setup. We have 2 flow hoods taking air from the back and pushing it through a HEPA filter. So it's sterile air coming here, and we have people working in front of it, full Tyvek suits. And let's take a look how we inoculate. So we use a liquid culture. So this is honey water, with mycelium growing into it. And we have an automatic syringe gun, pumping 3 cc's of this liquid filter in each jar, all in front of the hood. And then we load them onto these carts, and we're in the process of taking them back to our farm. So it's been a couple weeks since the last video, since we made all the 5,124 jars. And now we're in the incubation room. I turned on a light, but it's been dark in here for the last 2 weeks. And let's take a look how the jars went. So we have the racks in this dark room. And so far, we've gotten complete colonization. We had a problem with one of our guns, and the person using it didn't know that it wasn't working, so we have a few jars that are uninoculated, like here, that we're just gonna re-inoculate tomorrow. Everything's totally sterile, and so they're looking good. They're a little slower than usual, but they're still getting, you know, that top colonization, and we'll get to see more colonization going deeper into the substrate once we put it into the fruiting room. And then this is where they would go. We're probably gonna move all these carts into this fruiting room. We got about, I would guess, like 7,000 jars in here, maybe a bit more. And they're looking good. This is the last autoclave batch that we did. And we got pins growing pretty robustly. They're looking pretty good. So we'll see. Harvest is about 2 months. These are some overdue jars that we just haven't had time to harvest. These are some good new spore cultures that we've been working on. And then here's some more strains that we have to harvest, and we've been using this mycelial cake. It's kind of Cordyceps. It's really good if we cook it up, and a lot of chefs are really liking it, so we're pretty jazzed on it. Yeah, that's the Cordyceps process. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. If you like this video, click the subscribe button. Go to our website at www.mushroom-revival.com and follow us on Instagram at Mushroom Revival, on Twitter. Tell your friends about us. You can download a free ebook of my book on our website if you go to resources, and then type in your email and you can get the free download, the PDF. You can sign up for our email list and keep updated to events, classes, new videos, volunteer days where you can come help on the farm and learn about cordyceps firsthand, get that hands-on experience. New releases of products. We have a lot that we're working on and we're excited for. So yeah, stay tuned, stay shroomed. Much love, everyone. Sunshine, move on,